cows an adaptive strategy for resilient dairy production in the climate change. I would like to recognize my colleagues, Rafael Lopez, Claudia Rios Solís, Jaime Curbelo, Esval Jimenez, and Melvin Parra, who worked with me in this team. So climate change, the temperatures in the world are rising, and this is very concerning to the dairy cow industry, dairy cattle production in the world, because the dairy cow is very susceptible to heat stress. In Puerto Rico, we have high temperature, high humidity, and a very strong dairy industry, so it gives us the opportunity to study dairy cows under heat stress. This is how the temperatures have been increasing in Puerto Rico since we have recorded from the 1840s to the 2000s, and we can see that they indeed are increasing. So this is worrisome for us for the future of the island. Today we're going to talk about the dairy cow. So heat stress, the dairy cow has a very high metabolic rate due to milk production, very high heat produced because of the fermentation in the rumen, so it's very susceptible, more susceptible than other animals to heat stress. And this can happen at temperatures as low as 25 degrees centigrade. So, but because the dairy cow mainly dissipate heat through evaporation, is very susceptible to high humidity. So in Puerto Rico, we have commonly 80% humidity on the environment, and temperatures of 32 degrees centigrade are very common. So our cows are constantly under heat stress. Needless to say that we have days where the temperatures are way above 32 degrees. So that's the situation where our cows are functioning. So what this causes to the cow? Decreased dry matter intake, indeed decreased milk yield, is very harsh on the reproductive function of the animal, having problem getting them pregnant. They eventually increase respiration rate, and if it's hot enough, they will die. Okay? So most people know that the Holstein dairy cow that was developed in Holland, the Netherlands, is the most productive dairy breed, most common dairy breed in most of the developed world. But it's very susceptible to heat stress. So it's not common to think it's a good idea to put these animals in a tropical situation. And they cannot express their genetic potential because they need to use energy to dissipate the heat, and we cannot get them pregnant and stuff. And we indeed think that we should use animals adapted to the local places. The thing with, should we keep using Holstein in Puerto Rico? Should we promote the use of Holstein in other parts of the world with tropical conditions? We have a special situation in Puerto Rico that European cattle got to the island in 1511 with the Spanish conquest of the Taino people that were living on the island. So for more than 500 years, we have been persisting with these animals in a high, humid, high temperature climate. So with the intervention of the human beings, we have documented some changes that have occurred in these animals. So we're going to talk about today sleek-haired cows. It was documented scientifically in the 2000s when we got a visit from Tim Olson from the University of Florida in the United States. He came to the island to study the Senegal cattle that we have in the island, imported from our neighbor island of St. Croix. His idea was to cross Senegal cattle adapted to the tropics with Holstein cattle to develop a Holstein adapted to the tropics. So while he's traveling to the island, they met Dr. Jose Pantoja and a dairy farmer, Rafael Borges. I said, why do you want to cross Senegal with Holsteins? Oh, I want to improve the resistance to heat stress, because I think there will be more milk. I said, well, you don't need to do that because in my farm, I already have Holsteins with short hair, just like you want to create crossing with the Senegal. So he didn't believe them. Eventually they went to the farm, and indeed they could see the Holstein cows with very, very short hair. So the place that you more likely see the difference, I don't know how to use a pointer, but anyway, is in the testes, who have a lot less hair in the head area, in the side of the neck, and tip of the tail has a lot less hair than the contemporaries that you can see in this picture. And they're more shiny than the contemporaries, that's where they get the name slick. And when we take samples of the hair, indeed they have shorter hairs, in millimeters or shorter hair than their contemporaries. And we have done some measurements of the temperature, rectal and vaginal temperature, and we have, here we can see wild-type Holsteins, Jersey, and slick-haired Holsteins. And it was even surprising for us that they have lower temperature, even the Jersey, that in the textbooks we see that they're more tolerant to heat. So with this idea, they have short hair, they're more resistant to heat stress. And we start looking at where they might have come from. I have seen this phenotype of short hair in Senegal. I have seen it in the Dominican Republic. I have seen it in Panama, in different breeds, girl breeds around. But most of those breeds I have seen are double purpose or meat type cattle. So we start looking some of the history and see where we can get the slick-haired cows of Vaca Pelona. And then I came across to this journal article where they were trying to dissect the ancestry of the Senegal. And here they determined that the Senegal is pretty much an European breed, to 89% European. But within this paper, there was a quote from a Mexican scientist, Jorge de Alba, where he questioned that the Senegal came with an African ancestry. He indeed says that, based on pictures, that is interesting, he said that the Senegal was pretty much European. So 20 years or so later, through DNA testing, they came to the same conclusion, and he came because of pictures. So within here, he said that the Senegal breed probably came from the animals imported from the island of Tibet. This is the original report. And here he said, well, the pictures don't look like endowment cattle from Senegal. They do look like these animals that were brought from the island of Vieques. That is an island that is part of the archipelago of Puerto Rico, when they were in the sugarcane plantations. So, what we think is that Senegal animals and these slick-haired cows in Puerto Rico may have a common ancestor, and that's why they both have the same mutation for the short hair. So the objective was to compare the productivity of these animals under the conditions of Puerto Rico, and we used in this data, I'm going to show 19 to 26 slick-haired registered Holstein cows. It's important that they're Holstein, not Creole cattle anymore, compared to their contemporaries in the same herd. So that's where Puerto Rico is. For some of you that might not know, it's in the Caribbean Sea. And within the island, this dairy farm is in the north part of the island, more humid than the south, 80% humidity. In this case, the animals are grazing. They're grazing Cynodontinuensis, stargrass, African stargrass. So it's a semi-intensive. They're not in a very intensive management that you will see in the United States with TMRs and confined. They're just grazing. They're exposed to the elements. Semi-intensive, they're 7 days, more or less, in each paddock. They rotate every 21 days. They were milked twice a day, 10 and 22 hours, where they were supplemented with 4.54 kilograms of 16% crude protein. So they are indeed supplemented with some protein. So the milk samples were done once a month, AM, PM, by a dairy herd improvement program specialist flying to the study. And this is some of the production data that I wanted to share with you. This is back in 2013 when we first started looking at these cows. And you can see most of the time, this year, starting in September, they have an advantage, a couple liters of milk over their contemporaries. Some month, we don't see this, so there's an interaction between the genotype and environment. This is back in 2014. And we can see the interesting thing here is that the hotter it gets in the island, and the summer comes in. For example, August 2014, we see, well, the wild type or European Holsteins are producing only for 14 liters of milk. We have these sleek-haired cows producing 19 liters of milk. So we go back to 2015, see the same phenomenon. We lose the advantage during the spring, but once we get in the summer, the big advantage of milk productions come back into these animals. And in 2016, we saw the same phenomenon. We lose the advantage of the spring, but we get it back in the rest of the year, and this is in 2017. So in general, when we see the 5 years as a whole, we see that on average, the sleek-haired cow do indeed have an advantage in productivity. When we take them as a whole and two other dairy herds, in average they produce 682 more liters of milk than contemporary, that in the market of Puerto Rico will mean $545 extra per cow for those farmers that use this type of animal. So we can get high production, we can get a Holstein in any climate, get high production, but the big problem is to get them pregnant. So what we see that is a rare combination is that these cows that do have higher milk production do get pregnant faster. So that's really important, because if we don't get those dairy cows pregnant again, they will not give us milk in the next year. So this is the average that we have seen. Mostly they do have an advantage, and when we take them as a whole, we can get them pregnant 30 days before. So a whole month of milk production that will be saving using these animals. We do have some data on somatic cell count as an indication of the health of the mammary gland. You can see much different. The legal limit is 750,000 somatic cell counts in the mammary gland. So you can see both type of cattle are way below that legal limit. This is another trial that we just finished when we did milk components, because we were worried that maybe those 2 liters of extra milk might be of more water in milk. This is only 8 sleek cows or 8 wild-type cows, but at least we can say that it seems, even though numerically we see higher components in the milk of the sleeker cow, at least we can say that there's no difference in the milk components of these sleeker cows. So they produce just as good as a milk. So in conclusion, average during the last 5 years, the sleek-haired Holstein have presented higher milk yield than the wild-type Holsteins in Puerto Rico, with no negative effects on reproduction or milk quality, and perhaps, since this is just one trial, the milk components are not negatively affected either. So we still need, this is our next project, we need to see the feed efficiency, how the feed efficiency of those cows. Do they eat more? Do they eat less to produce that amount of milk? How about growth? How about those cows growing in the environment? We don't know that yet. And we know they get pregnant faster, but we don't know why. The difference in reproductive hormone secretion, difference in the development of the embryo, we don't know. Or we don't know genetic expression differences. So in general, and this is what the main point of the presentation, this is data from the FAO, and they include the number of million cows in different countries and the production level of cows per year. So, for example, and not to pick on India, but just because it's the first country in the thing, here's what the production of the sleeker cow have been able to get in Puerto Rico. So it's 4 times the productivity of the cows in this report from the FAO in India. So it potentially, in this genotype, could increase production in many countries in the developed world, and eventually reduce the amount of cows that are needed to produce a given amount of milk. And we can reduce the amount of cows from 46 million to 11 million, just to use India as an example. The carbon footprint of the dairy industry in the world will be greatly decreased. So I think that's the main point. So the slick haircut may be an important and active asset to minimize the carbon footprint of the dairy industry in the tropics or even in the world, eventually, if the weather keeps heating up, and to increase the resiliency of dairy operation upon the uncertainty of climate change worldwide. So with that, I would like to thank the dairy farmers in Puerto Rico that have helped me work with them. Dr. Jose Pantoja, Dr. Tim Olson, the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, the USDA, that have funded some of these projects, not all. Different people in Puerto Rico, the Department of Agriculture of Puerto Rico, Taisa Farm, that is where we're doing experiments right now. And to our students, that are the ones that are feeding the cows every day and taking the milk samples every day or every week. So they really do the hard work. And with that, I will thank you. If you have any questions, that's a registered bull, 81% hosting, so that's the paperwork that shows that indeed is slick, or he is a hosting. So, with that, thank you.